Welcome to TheKetsup. Today we're playing Calm Time. It sounded relaxing. I know I could use a bit of relaxing. So let's read this. I've lived in a small cottage isolated from the town. Silence is law in such a place. My home is almost something akin to an inescapable prison. Oh, that sounds pleasant. I would love to live there. While the chirping of the sparrows and the breath of the wind are my sole company. That sounds lovely. I like the sound of the wind. So do I. So do I. I could use a relaxing game. It's been a very stressful weekend. I went to a party, and it started off nice because I don't really like parties. I don't like big groups. It's always I don't know. I always feel uncomfortable. But I'm pretty good at drawing in a crowd. I do the whole most interesting man in the world bit, but I'm more of an introvert, so like 10 minutes in, I have a mini panic attack. But it all worked out well. I mean, I talked to some folks and met some new people, but there was this one guy who just kind of came into our little social group as I was joking around about things. And he was very rude. He was pretty intoxicated. He said I was an idiot. Among other obscenities, I guess he was upset at something I said, and, you know, it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings, and it just ruined the whole night, you know? And I just couldn't keep calm. I was always very, like, just tense. Like, I took it too personally, and I don't know why. And I think we all need to remember that we're all very fragile creatures. So as he was walking out to his car, you know, I followed him, because he was obviously quite drunk. And I wanted to tell him, what you said really hurt my feelings. And he said some more terrible things to me. So I pulled out, you know, I pulled out the little aid I have to help demonstrate how I feel. It's a switchblade. And I showed him that it hurt. It really hurt what he said. So, you know, he was kind of cringing, and he was on the floor for a second, and he just started running. And I don't know why he was running. I was trying to express my feelings, because sometimes it's hard to express my feelings. And as he was running, I ran and I caught up to him. And, you know, he was very quiet for a while. He just stared at me, and he was stumbling, because he was obviously drunk. But, you know, I told him, look, I just want to talk. I just want to talk, because obviously you have some issues. Obviously, life hasn't been too kind to you, and you feel the need to take it out on people. Like sometimes I want to, but I don't. And, it's just how it is. And I just told him, look, if you want to be friends, we can totally be friends. And just keep calm and relax, and we'll talk things through. And so he agreed, and he let me get closer. And, you know, I talked a bit. You know, I talked a bit, and he didn't like the way I was talking, because I was very expressive. And he screamed a bit, and he cried. And after the crying, I came to the realization that he was very repentive, and I felt very bad. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. There's no need for tears. No need for tears. No need to run and hide your feelings. I'm sorry, and I'm glad you're opening up to me. I'm glad you're opening up everywhere to me. So, after that, you know, I helped him get up. He was still kind of stumbling. He was just stumbling everywhere, and he was vomiting blood. But it was fine. I figured I should help him. So I you know, I was a Boy Scout. So I noticed we were near the woods. So I helped him to the woods, because he looked very tired. He was pale. He just couldn't stand on his feet. So I helped him to the woods, and and as I said, I was a Boy Scout, so I was digging up a little bed for him. A nice, comfy bed. Because if you don't know about this, dirt it really warms you up. It really warms you up. And it was very dark out. And, you know, he was fidgeting a bit. He was fidgeting, and I was just trying to comfort him. I was just trying to stroke his hair and tell him everything was okay. And everything was alright. And then, you know, he wasn't really responding well, so I gave him a nice hug. I wrapped my arms around my neck, not my neck, and his neck. You know, sometimes it gets confusing. The voices in my head. Anyways, so I wrapped my arms around his neck, and he calmed down a bit. he struggled a little bit, but he come down, and then I twisted, and then he just stopped moving. He just, after the twist, he just stopped moving, and I put him in his nice bed, and I gave him a little dirt blanket, and that was it. And you know, it felt good to be a good Samaritan, because obviously he was drunk, and he was gonna hurt somebody while driving. And, you know, instead of judging him and making him feel bad about himself, I just helped him. And, you know what, I think that's what we all need. It's just to help people. And, because, you know, life is harsh and we're all very fragile. And I think sometimes you just need to do the right thing. And even though the person may not appreciate it or may not accept your help, I mean, for us as an individual, it makes us feel better as people, and I think that's the thing to do. So I think, you know, just share the love, and I know sometimes on the internet, I mean, people can be rude, but, you know, again, we're all fragile, and we're all just empty, soft shells that are, you know, we just, not empty, but we're all filled with emotion just bleeding out of us. And I just think we need to open up and just be nice. And I learned all this from my father. My father was a hippie. He believed in the whole love and all that. He just was a typical hippie. You know, we'd have the organic eggs. Like, I mean, he even cringed at eggs. Like, he didn't like us eating eggs, but he just didn't like harming other creatures. He said that, you know, we're all living on this world together, and life is short, so we all need to just appreciate how fragile each and every life is. I mean, personally, I still eat meat and burgers, because, you know, they're delicious, but my father was very anti any of that. You know, he would often argue with me as a kid, because I loved McDonald's as a boy, even though now it gives me heavy diarrhea. But he would always argue with me, and he was like, you should just eat vegetables. And like, I mean, I don't mind vegetables, but nothing but vegetables gets very old quick, especially for a young child. And, you know, I didn't really like soda. I don't really like sweets. But, you know, I think on occasion you should be able to splurge a little bit and have like a cheeseburger or occasional pizza or some chips or something. You know, your kids. And then as your kid grows up, let them decide if they want to be, you know, like a vegan or something. I'm not saying, you know, let your kids eat nothing but candy and soda, because that's, you know, that's obviously bad parenting, and they're gonna get the beaties. You know, I mean, I was happy that my father instilled fruits and vegetables on me, because, you know, I like them as an adult, and I liked them as a kid, and I didn't like sugary things, and I still don't. But I don't believe you should force your opinion on, well, not opinion, but you know, it's just like, I don't know. I just don't think you should be brutish about things. You know, if your kid doesn't want to always, you know, just treat them, treat your children, you know, okay, or like your friends. Not they're not your friends, but just treat people on occasion. Like, be nice, you know. If, like, I want a cheeseburger, you know, get them a cheeseburger. You know, because you don't know if you're jacking them up, and they're going to be weird adults, and they might take some resentment out on other people just because they didn't get the cheeseburger they wanted, you know? Just because it took them until they were 18 to have their first cheeseburger. I mean, they snuck in cheeseburgers on occasion, but they would feel bad about themselves because you would call them fatty. Isn't that right, Dad? You'd call them a disgusting fatty. You'd go, look at your thighs. You got fat thighs, you fatty. Look at you. You're not eating vegetables. You're a chunky little fatso. I hope you get the super cancer farts. And that's no way a father should tell his child that. No father should tell his child that. I mean, it's nonsensical and it doesn't make sense. And but it's still hurtful and mean. You know, but my father had his imperfections, even though he was a hippie. He did have anger issues, and he would lash out at us, and sometimes it would hurt. It would hurt. And, you know, we'd have to just, you know, we know that when he got like that, there was no reasoning with him, and he just had to run away from it or just escape and hide somewhere, because he would be very aggressive. I mean, with other people, he believed free love and all that, but with us, especially me, because I just I just wanted the one cheeseburger. Just wanted that. That's all. I didn't want to, like, I didn't want a dog or anything. I did want a dog, but he said I wasn't ready for a dog. But yeah, I mean, he gave me a dog once. He gave me a dog, and I loved him. I loved Mr. Pickles, but Mr. Pickles ran away. Mr. Pickles ran away. And then later, my father told me that Mr. Pickles didn't run away. He said that since I wet the bed, because I had a problem, I was a kid, any kid wets the bed every so often, that he had to put Mr. Pickles down. He had to put him down, and it was my fault. He said it was your fault, and that's why I had to put your dog down. And it was very depressing, very depressing. But the next morning, he made my favorite meal as a kid. I still kind of love him. I don't love him as much anymore. I try not to eat them. He made me an omelet. And he apologized. He said, you know what? That was very mean of me, and I love you. And I made you your favorite meal. I made you an omelet. And I thanked him. I was like, thank you, Dad. Thank you. And he's like, does it taste delicious? And I was like, yes, it does, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. He's like, does it taste like love? And I was like, yeah, Dad, I guess. It tastes like love. And he's like, good, because I made it with your dog. You're eating your dog. You're eating Mr. Pickles. And ever since then, I've never had dogs. Or omelets. Because now every omelet I eat tastes like dog. And I love omelets, so it's very, very cruel, because my father never, it was a life lesson. He was trying to teach me not to eat animals, because he says you can love an animal like a person, but if you eat them, that makes you just a cruel creature. So even though, I love eating pizza and burgers every so often, and sandwiches, it's just a cruel reminder of the beasts that I'm eating. My father that instilled that into me, and it was a hard life lesson. I see where he's getting at. I mean, he's my dad, and he just wants to help and be loving and just help and make sure I'm a good boy. But you know what? He was all right. Oh, the game ended. I've lived in a small cottage isolated from the town. Silence is law in such a place. Wait a minute. My home is almost something akin to an escaped prison. Wait a minute. While the chirping in the sparrows and the breath of the wind are my sole company. Wait a minute. I like the sound of the wind. Sorry, I spaced that whole time. I was so calm. I was thinking about just being kind. And you should always be kind. Was I just murdering people? I just realized that. Oh my god, was I doing that? This game is sick. I think I was just killing people. Oh, that's awful. This is so... Oh, I feel sick. That was terrible. That was terrible. I would never do that. Oh, what type of sick weirdo would play this game? And especially do a let's play of it and put it out for people to watch? What type of weird, messed up person would do that? Oh... God, I feel dirty. I feel dirty. I could use like a sandwich or an omelet right now. I don't feel good. Don't feel good. I want to eat something with flesh, but just I don't feel like I should eat. I just left a bad taste in my mouth. I mean, I get the point. I mean, the whole time I was calm. I guess they did its job. Like, as soon as I started playing, I went into another world and I forgot I was playing a game. Whew. Anyways, if you like the video, feel free to like and share. That really helps the channel. And yeah, and thank you for watching. Well, now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go try to eat. The voices in my head are telling me to eat baby, but I don't want baby. I kind of want a burger. Maybe In-N-Out. Probably In-N-Out.